Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike, and I'm excited to share another Divi tutorial with you. My goal here is to make learning Divi as straightforward as possible. Today we're going to have a look at how you can change your Divi blog layout to a list layout. Now, I'm sure there's probably a small, minute amount of you that probably love this layout, but for the rest of us, I think it's terrible. Actually, I don't even know why it's there. But unless you're using like a fashion blog or something like that that's very image dependent, I think that this is really one of the worst layouts I've seen, because it really distracts from the actual content itself. Now, I'm open to being convinced otherwise, so if you feel like this is the layout for you, just let me know in the comments, and I'm sure we can have a good discussion about this. Maybe you might even convince me. But for the rest of us, I'm pretty sure we mainly just use the grid layout. I'm sure probably 95% of us. But I want to just give you one other option that you can have today. Rather than having this full width layout or having the grid layout, I'm going to go to something a bit more familiar, something like this, that's got your featured image on the left and it's got your content on the right here. Something that we all see on a daily basis, but yet it seems like Divi forgot about this when they were creating theirs. And so if this is something that's interests you, just hit that like button and let's go and see if we can create this in under 10 minutes today. Okay, so first thing we want to do is obviously we want to add a new page. Let's pull this apart here and let's call this the Divi Blog List Layout. Okay, and we're going to use the Divi Builder. Okay, once the Divi Builder opens up, I think what we'll do is we'll try to recreate some of this that we got here. So I'm just going to copy this and we jump back here. So let's go and create that. Put in the single row and heading. Just paste that in there. Okay, design, heading text. So we just want to change that up. Maybe make this a bit bold. Center it and make this 75. Okay, that looks pretty decent. Let's go sizing. Sizing, maximum width of 75 as well. I want to make sure that's not pixels, but rather percent. And then we want to set that to the center. Okay. Now I want a clear difference between the two. So I'm just going to add another section here for us to add in the blog module. And here I'm going to add in another single row. And I'm going to add in the blog module. All right. So as I said, for most of us, we would all be using the grid layout. It's something that, it just makes sense because it highlights everything for us. But for those few people that are using the full width, again, here we go. That's the beautiful layout that Divi has given us, and I'm not sure why. But anyways, so if we to achieve what we want to do, we're going to have to add in some code, all right, some CSS code. So I have an article, which I'll link in the description below, that showcases you how to do this, how you can transform your Divi blog module using a sleek list layout. Okay, and it takes you through, you can read through this as you wish, but it takes you through step by step. So make sure to set your blog layout to full width as step 1. So that's where we were. So we want to make sure that if we come in here into our blog module, we go to design and the layout is set to full width. Okay, that's the very first thing we want to make sure. If it's set to grid, it might cause issues when we add the CSS. Okay, so that is done. The next thing we want, let's jump back. The next thing we want to do is we want to add the CSS class. Okay, so we need to add the CSS class to tell the element where the code must target. All right, so I want to make sure I'm still in the blog module over here. I go to advanced, I go to CSS class, and I just add this in here. Now, again, this is already jumped in here because I already have all my code inside. So let me just remove this code again and save changes. Okay, I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to save draft. Then I'm going to exit. And then I'm going to edit the Divi again. All right, just so that we're on the same place. Okay, there we go. So I have added my custom page settings. I've added my CSS class, all right, over there, but you can see nothing has happened. There we go. We're still sitting with this layout, all right? So what's the next step? Let's jump back into the tutorial. Now we have to add the CSS. So all you do is just copy, select all of this, copy it, come back, and we can't place it anywhere here. One place you could likely think is maybe your page settings, but you want this to be in a place where all your code is centralized. So for me, the best place that is always putting it into your theme options. So if you go to Divi, you go theme options, and just under the general tabs here, you scroll all the way to the bottom and you just put it here, right? And you can save changes there. The other place that you can put this is that if you have a child theme that's set up already, or if you want to put it onto a new child theme, you can also do that. We have a child theme on the website that you can also use. Let me just see here, where is it? All right, so we also have a child theme over here. I'll link this also maybe in the description below in case that's one that you want to build. 100% free, and you can use it as you want on your website. Okay, so that is there. I'll put that in the link below. But you can place the CSS either here in theme options, or you can put it into your child theme. Okay, so once that is done, save changes. And now if we come here to our site again, and we say save draft, and we say preview, you'll see there it's jumped already, and we have it set up that way. Okay, so once it is set up like this, you can still play around with this as much as you want. All right. Things that you can do is maybe you don't like these rectangles. All right. So let's go back into the theme options. So theme options, we can grab this one over here. And let's say we put it a little bit below. And we say we want to target the image. Okay. So once we have this one here, we can start doing some things with it. So let's say maybe we want to make it a circle. So we can just say a clip path, and we say circle. All right, we go save changes. Come to the front end and we refresh. And there we have some circles. Let's say we want to make the circles a little bit smaller, maybe a bit too big. We can go jump back into our settings, and we can say maximum width. Let's say 180 pixels. This might need to be an important tag. All right, save changes. Let's go see what that looks like. There we go. So this is looking quite cool, but obviously with it being so small, we also need to adjust the layout over here. So let's take this down to width 20, and let's push this one up to width 72. And we save changes there, and we can view it again on the front end, and there we go. So it's really, you can play with this as much as you want, and you can get the desired effect that you want. But the end of the thing is that with it being like this, it makes it a lot more friendly for you to play around with. So let's just take this out. Take this one out. Let's see. And then refresh. Okay, so you can play around with this as much as you want. The CSS here is quite easy to understand. I think is easy to understand. If it's not, let me know in the comments and I can help you I can explain it out a bit more. But this only kicks in on tablet and higher. So we have it set here for the minimum width. So on mobile phones, it will not display. Excuse me. So even if you've set it that for full width, it's still going to display as full width on your mobile phone in the original way. Float left over here, the image URL, all that is doing is it's just telling us that we want the image to be floated to the left. All right. If I change that to the right, then this image here will float to the right. So you can see that's also reflected over here. And we have the details that's also floating to the left. All right. That means that they lie next to each other. So because the one is floated to the left and then the other one is floated to the left, but the one has a set width of 20%, and therefore the other one will come lie next to it to make up that 100% of that row. Okay, so yeah, if there's anything else that you need me to explain a little bit more in detail with regards to the CSS here, or if there's anything else that might not be clear with regards to how you can make use of this for your website, just let me know in the comments and I'm happy to go through this again. Okay, but that's how you can quite easily transform your Divi Blog Module to a list layout rather than a full width layout. I really hope you find it helpful and that it makes a difference for you. And if it does, hit that like button below to let me know so that you can keep. It really motivates me to make more content. And speaking about making more content, I'm constantly still learning about Divi and creating more tutorials. So be sure to subscribe to join me on this journey and ensure you don't miss out on what's coming next. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.